Hello students, we are in the second semester and we need to go through again the syllabus or the forms of poetry. In our earlier lecture, we have gone through some of the forms of literature, and for better understanding of literature, we have to go through another forms of literature, and these forms of literature will help us and equip us with the kind of training to judge on your own self, and that is what our understanding of the literature is all about. At the end of the syllabus or the end of the terms, or if you have completed your graduation, you will be equipped with the kind of a training to judge on your own basis. The critical approaches that needs to form the opinion, to evaluate, to assess the literary text on your own basis is the end of this study, and that is what we must equip ourselves. Expand your reading, that is what is required as a student. So, in the forms of poetry, we are going to study the different forms. As we know, there are various types of poetry, and this poetry are categorized in various forms owing to different types of features therein. So, in this particular so called writing, we need to go through these things. Suppose the lyric is the first and foremost point that we need to understand. As lyric is fairly short musical poem, it is most commonly used term. See, it's fairly short poem. Most especially, it's a single person, single speaker who expresses the states of his mind, emotions, feelings. In the process, he reveals his thoughts and feelings, and that we see are reflected in the literature. As we know, we have different types of lyrics, and these lyrics are popularized in the writing. We have seen there are dramatic lyrics, there are personal lyrics, or the poet is musing in solitude, or sometimes addressing to another person. These types of dramatic lyrics are also famous in the writing. As we have seen, the lyric is uttered in the first person, I in the poem. It need not be the poet who write it. In some of the lyrics, suppose John Milton's sonnet is also a type of lyric. So, in some of the sonnet, John Milton, when I consider how my light is spent, and St. Coleridge's The Frost at Midnight, the reference is made to unknown circumstances of the author's life. If the poet is expressing his own self, revealing his personal character and utterances, the speaker may be formalized and altered by the author in a way that makes the conducive to the desired artistic effect. In number of lyrics, the speaker is conventional period figure. There is such a long-suffering suitor in the Petrarchan sonnet, courtly lover who expresses his love relations, love feelings, and that is what we have courtly love reflected in some of the lyrics. Witty lover in cavalier type of poems, we have seen some of the types of lyrics. The speaker is obviously an invented figure remote from the poet in the character and circumstance. So, in into confessional poetry or in dramatic monologue for distinctions between person and invented lyric speakers. Lyric genre comprehends a great variety of utterances, some like Ben Jonson's, to the memory of William Shakespeare, Walt Whitman. We have seen there is a personal elegiac mode in memory of Abraham Lincoln. See, is commemorized by Walt Whitman when he was shot by the white fanatic, and it reflected the whole process of death or funeral procession of Abraham Lincoln. Oh Captain, my Captain. These are ceremonial lyrics uttered in a public voice on a public occasion. The lyrics in a more private mode are simply brief with intense expression of mood and state of feeling. We have Shelley's Tonight, Emily Dickinson's Wild Nights, or this medieval elegiac song, Fowls in Freight, the fishes in the flood, and I mourn wax wood, such a sorrow I walk with, for best of bone and blood. Emily Dickinson reveals her elegiac feeling in this particular song. This genre also includes such extended expressions on complex evolutions and complex feelings and thought, as you see in the long elegy and in the meditative mode. Within lyric, the process of observation, thought, memory, and feeling is organized in a variety of ways. There are love lyrics. The speaker may simply express an enamored state of mind, as we have seen in Robert Burns' Red Rose. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose. Elizabeth Browning, How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. It's a beautiful example of expressing love towards her husband, that is Robert Browning. Ben Jonson, who's a very advocating line, drink to me only with thine eyes, is an example of the poetic expression, lyrical expression. The cool response that we see reflected in the lyric. We have seen the expression and the process of observation, meditative mood, emotional problems, ode on intimations of immortality. Suppose Matthew Arnold's Dover Pitch, or exhibited in making and justifying the choice of a way of life. Suppose it is expressed in William Butler Yeats's Sailing to Byzantium. He tries to explore the life opportunities and to explore how his art or his own self becomes perpetual and everlasting. He wished to be the golden bird sitting on a golden bough, to sing the memorable songs to the artificers of Byzantium. So, this lyric explores and justifies the choice to make in the days to come. So, it is quite artistic poem that we see. In the Greek lyric, in the original, we see such as songs are rendered and sung with the musical instrument called lyre. In some current usages, the lyric still retains a sense of a poem written to be set to music. So, there is a musical quality that is we find in the lyric. Lyric may be on different types of subjects. There are religious subjects that do be sang. Lyrical is sometimes applied to the expressive song like narrative poem. See, the is declaration of love to a dam genre for broad distinction between three major poetic classes drama, narrative, and lyric. There is a sudden elevation of lyric. In the Romantic period, to the status of quintessential poetic mode, we have seen the different types of subclasses of lyric like obeit, dramatic monologue, elegy, epithalamion, ode, and sonnet are the types of lyrics. Sometimes hymn may also be called as a type of lyric. So, under this term, we are going to study one of the poem by Robert Frost, and that is Stopping by Woods on Snowy Evening. So, let us go through when we study the poem that is lyric. I hope you will take the screenshot of this term, the page displayed in front of you on the screen, and you will read when you happens to get the time. I would suggest you to go through this term very peculiarly and take down some of the important points and characteristics of lyric out of this. These lyrics are often lyrical, symbolical, that can be seen with the musical instrument. These lyrics can be, of course, symbolical in the sense, and that makes appeal to our emotions and feelings. These characteristics needs to be studied. Nature poetry is also covered under the subject. So, with these words, we come to conclusion of this term, and hope you will listen patiently and take down some of the notes out of this. There are other reference books that you can refer to understand the lyrics. Thank you.